Alright guys, so the video you're about to see now is the one I recorded not last week but the week before, before I hit the 1,000 subs. I'm going to put it out there now for you guys, just mainly because I've got a couple of questions I'm going to ask in there that I was hoping you lot would be able to help me out with. Mainly about drums and a few other sort of things, but so I'll put that one out. Just in the process of filming this week's video now, and that will be going out probably Monday, possibly Tuesday, although weather ain't helping. We had the storms on bank holiday Monday, and then yesterday the storm came back again. It was a absolute flaming nightmare. So but basically I'm just trying to repair all the storm damage in the garage, but garden, not the garage. So anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoy this one, and if you can answer the questions that I ask in the video, please do, be a lot of help. All right, on with the video. Oh, hello. Oh. You know, sometimes you just got to say sod it, sit down, relax, enjoy the sun. Anyway, when you've got a koi pond in the garden, that doesn't really happen, does it? Anyway, welcome back. Not a lot going on ponding wise this week, concentrating more on the garden, but obviously we'll have a little look at the fish. I did say I was going to get them out and bowl them up, but yesterday went off and met the grandkiddies, so it just leaves me today to sort of titivate about and do all the bits and pieces. So probably concentrate on doing that next week, getting the fish out, bowling them up, giving them a health check and a measure up, but no rest for the wicked. So the garden, although we're having absolutely beautiful days and that lot, until well last night really, it's been quite cold and quite heavy frosts in the night and early morning. And those of you who've got hydrangeas may have noticed this some of your leaves are curling over, gone a bit brown, a little bit of frost damage. It happens, there's not a lot you can do about it. They may drop or they may stay like this for the sort of like the rest of the season now, but any new leaves coming through now should be okay. Just to help them along, hydrangeas are thirsty plants, so they well, say thirsty, hungry plants, so you may want to put a bit of magnesium sulfate in, just in and around the roots, and that'll keep the leaves nice and green, nice dark green. This one, it can't get enough. I'm having a sort of like dose with magnesium sulfate and hydrangea plant food probably 3 times in the growing season. But yeah, so that's that. Now some of my Acer seedlings are now big enough to go into the ground, and with Acers they need to be sheltered from the cold winds, and they prefer a bit of dappled shade as well, but rather than full sun. So probably thinking of going there and there. And I was saying about the ferns fronds coming through, look, you see they're all starting to unfurl. This one still waiting, it's fairly shaded, I can feel the throngs in there. I'll cut it all back, you see it's cut all the leaves back, so hopefully it shouldn't be too long before they come. But this one out here, that's all unfurling now, starting to come out. But yeah, a few more plants come in. hostas are now showing, already starting to get eaten by the slugs and snails. Come on, slow worms, do your thing. And it's a shame that I haven't got a nature pond as well, because then I can have some slugs, some toads and frogs to keep them down as well. But such is nature. As I said, with that, still alive, but not looking nowhere near as healthy as it should be. So I'll give it another week. It is starting to green up, go a dark green around the sides, but nowhere near as healthy as this one. But so I've had about another hour or so digging on the filter pit extension, getting there slowly, yeah, very slowly, trying to fit this in with doing everything else, getting plants in and cutting the lawn around the front and doing bits and pieces in the house, walking Jake, but yeah, getting there slowly. I know it's not the progress that James the Koi Whisperer's got with his new pond dig, but there again I've probably got about nearly 30 years on James, so my older body can't take it as much as he can. But yeah, it's only, I mean, I've only had about an hour and a half digging today, and I was in the wheelbarrow, and I don't have the luxury of a farm or a bit of land where I can dump all my soil. I'm having to put it in 1-ton bags and get rid of them. Oh dear, it's all costs, but yeah, so it's I'm getting there. I'm just down there. I mean, that's ground level anyway. There's four breeze blocks and a row of bricks deep, so should have it dug out to the depth I need next weekend, because won't be seeing the kids or anything like that, so that's the main thing, or grandkiddies I should say. But koi are all doing well. Been a typical weekend. I've been fed about 6 or 7 times, and they're still coming up for more. Auto feeder's not on yet. It will be. And look down there. Look, more stones. And I know what it is now. It's a cat. 100% it's a cat. Great big fat tabby thing. Comes in, jumps on the wall, jumps down here, has a mooch around there, has a tiddle, and then kicks all the stones into the pond. Right pain in the backside. So I'll get them hoovered out again. But everybody's doing well, apart from, well, Amanda's not ill, but it's still got that horrible lump on the side of her head. I'll try and get it focused. Come on, Amanda. Come on. How do you come, look? Hold my hand over so she thinks I'm feeding. Yes, alright, patch. But there it is, right on the side of her head there. And like I said, it's hard as bone. So I haven't got a clue what it is, but I'll have a closer look next week when I get her out for a measure up. But apart from Amanda, everybody else is doing fine. Yammy's putting some size on, done in a lovely golden yellow colour. Now getting a bit of sun, its colour's coming out lovely. I'll get another shot later. I'll turn the water off. I did brush down the side over there, which I forgot to do last week. It looks like I could do it again. The brush is probably a little bit too soft, and I will be putting some aquasource resolve in, just as a preventative dose. Got no signs of new algae growing, but it keeps the phosphates down as well, and it keeps the algae at bay. Now we're having this nice sunny weather, although I think it's supposed to change in the next week. but don't keep rattling. But there's my new Goshki, which isn't shy in coming forward when it comes to feeding time. Quite happy to push all the big ones out of the way. There's my little Goshki. Steph, that's yours. Just waiting to get rid of that one. That's a good friend of mine. Steph Allen. He's having that. Just trying to work out how to get it up there. But that one's still for grabs. Well, I'm starting to think now, looking at how it's developing, and it's starting to pack a bit of size on. I mean, it is going to be a tonkin fish. Yeah, it's got a bit of carp box on its fins, so it has dropped off on one side. It did have it on both sides, but one side dropped off, so hopefully it won't be long until the other side drops off. That's my granddaughter's fish, Kirsty the Kahaku, should say, sorry. Right there on the side of the curve, can you see? Keep still. That's come on leaps and bounds. I'll spot there. Being heated this winter made a big difference to him, and he's starting to fill out now quite nicely, starting to put a bit of size on, so hopefully the feed going in this year, that's going to develop into a good fish. Might be a Marmite pattern on it. I like it. And there's me third prize winning Shiro. Shiro the Shiro. Yeah. Chad down there. Right at the bottom, having a mooch around on the bottom there for a bit of food. Can't see him now, he'll come up in a minute. I'll get the food in here, be first up, but yeah, he's developing really well. So I will say heating up to 16 degrees all winter has made a hell of a difference to the fish and their development. You know, I'm not looking for monsters, I haven't got the ponds to have absolute monsters in. You know, these two, you know, they are monsters. And the Hayatsuri has turning into a bit of beast actually. As soon as I picked that up, it was about, what was that, 30 cm I think it was when I picked it up at the 20 koi winter event, not last year, the year before. So that's 30 cm, and that's probably a good 50, 55, 60 maybe, I don't know, can't tell until I get it out. I'm not very good at sizes. So my missus keeps telling me, but yeah, everybody's doing well. Anyway, pack on, more wheelbarrow load. As somebody sort of said to me about do I ever take the media out of the centre section of my easy. I do that probably twice a year, but normally it's clean as a whistle, and I think the reason why that is it's the actual way I clean my nexus, because it's in ground, and I haven't put sort of like a sump pit in yet. I don't actually drain to waste from my waste valves, if you can see down there. Now I've got the kit to connect up, the waste pipe kit to connect up to them, but you just see them down there. But what I do, so I did cover this on one of my very early videos, but what I do, and I'll take you through it in a second, I'll just give it a boil now, but I actually use my hoover and a jet wash. Now, if feel good, jet washing. But what you got to remember, the centre section there is literally a mechanical filter. Yes, you can get a bit of bio out of it and that lot, but the main bio is in the outer sections. So the centre section is really just mechanical. So if you do get a bit of normal tap water on that section, it's not a problem. But what I'll do is I'll give it a boil, give it 10 minutes. Yeah, it's filthy, but I did brush the sides again. So give that a boil. But while we're doing that, I'll show you something which I think is quite interesting. Now, try and get that in focus. Let's move it out of the light a bit. So K plus, K1. Now I don't know where it's going to show up on camera, but look at the outsides there. You can see the K plus has got a bit more biofilm on it, a bit more material. Now that K plus I put in probably got to be 2 months, good 2 months, maybe 3 months before I added the K plus, and you can see that the K plus is maturing even after this time faster than what the K1 is. Now you can see the lighter coloured stuff and the darker coloured stuff, the darker being sort of like the K plus and the original K1 that was in there. Yeah, it don't necessarily mean it's maturing, but it's a given that sort of like when it turns brown that you know, you've got a good biofilm on there, and so maybe biofilm is mature media. Big up for the old K plus. Let's give that a boil and I'll get. Now while we're waiting for that to boil, question for all you drum owners out there. Now I'm just after a sort of like a general consensus, because I know there's different makes, you know, Filteroo, the 20 Koi, Profi, Draco, you know, there's lots of different drums out there. Now what I'm after, all you drum owners out there, can you comment down below what the height from your normal water level in the drum, so your normal water level, inlet water level in your drum, to the very top of the casing on your drum, so where your lid will go, sort of thing, what the height difference is in that. Just future thinking, that's all. Spin you around. So what I'm thinking is future planning. Because I work away all week, a drum makes more sense to me. I can't afford one at the moment. Long way off affording one. It may appear that I'm made of money, but I'm not. You know, yeah, air source heat pump, but that's, you know, that broke the bank sort of thing, getting that. So obviously I've got my filter pit, everything's going to be below level. The pipe. So basically I've got to the top of this bar there, and I think it's about 10 inches I got from where my water level is to where the top of the drum could sit. Now, so I need just sort of like a general consensus of, you know, all you people out there who've got drums, if you could just sort of like have a little measure and let me know what the height from your normal water level is in the drum, sort of the inlet water level to the top of the drum, you know, very top of the lid, what that distance is, so I can just sort of do a bit of future planning and thinking, because I can't raise the deck up anymore than what it is. But if I can fit a drum underneath the deck, then happy days, then I will be going for it at a later date. So appreciate that if all you guys out there could do that for me. It'd be a great help. Anyway, so that's boiling, and you can see it's absolutely flaming filthy, but like I said, I did sweep the sides down again. So what I do now is got my trusty Hoover out there, and then a bit of noise, nozzle at the end of the garden. And basically, push that all the way down to the bottom there, and just let that do its biz. So once the bottom of the nexus is, well, once all the water's emptied out of all the side of the nexus, you can see all the dirt down there that still needs to be sucked out. I plonk it down the inlet, down to the, suck all the water out as far as the slide valve. So when I let the water back in again, it technically acts as a bit of a purge. So what I do now is I get the old jet wash out. I'll just go grab that. Get the old jet wash out, you have to excuse the noise, and hose all the bottom off and the side of the easy and the top of it, and just give everything a good clean and flush round. I don't know if you can see the dirt coming off the side of that. And I bring it right down the bottom there, bounce it off the walls, and that cleans out all underneath. Also, into a little overflow. Right coming out there. So I feel all hoovered out and jet washed down. For the moment. Now, what I do, take my little invention here, open the slide valve, and then look, see it turns to the bottom drain. All of that coming out of there. That's all the crust from where I swept down the sides earlier. See it all coming in there. So let that fill up, give that a second boil. Shut the slide valve. Really should have a ball valve, but and then turn this around to that end. And what I do, just, I'm going to have to put the camera down for this. Open the ball valve a little bit, let all the junk out of there, and that soaks away. Close that off, that just cleans out the all the stuff in the little hole in the ball valve, and that just soaks away. And then repeat the process, hoover it all out again, and then watch the water come through, and if it's still dirty, do it one more time, but if not, that will do. Now I'll need to hoover the stains off the bottom again anyway. But yeah, basically, unconventional, a little bit time consuming, but it does keep the easy and underneath the easy and all that lot really clean. Should do it twice a week, but in the week when I am home, manage to make it home, I don't sort of like give it a wash, I just then hoover it out and let it wash around, but really should do both. That's why I'm thinking about the drum, really, because I used to get home during the week, you know, at least once, maybe twice, sort of like, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I could come home and do you know, the second filter clean, but at the moment I'm struggling to make it back, and when I do make it back it's too late. You know, houses around here are quite close together, so I can't come out here and mess about with the filters when young kiddies are in bed. But yeah, so while I got the air off, gives you a chance to have a look at the koi a bit better. Yeah, no patch, he just done a quick turn, saw me standing here, was thinking he was going to get fed. But you can see now, if I zoom in, managed to hoover up all the stones. Water is sparkling, gin clear. Did see a post though on Facebook about fines in your pond and how do you get rid of them. You'll never 100% get absolutely sparkling clear water rid of all the fines. Like I said, if you look at this now, yeah, you can't see any fines floating about, lovely and clear. Stick a camera in there though, underwater camera, and you'll be surprised how much is in there. But that's just the nature of ponds. Let me turn that off a minute. Yeah, as I said, you'll never 100% have absolutely crystal clear, 100% clear water in a pond, no matter how much filtration you have on there, unfortunately. Others may beggar to disagree, but it's just the nature of a pond where you've got living things in there. But they're all now, with the air's off, they're all now doing their swim round and round around the pond routine. But yeah, so that's easy. That's the nexus and its second flush, and you see in there, absolutely, even the sides, even the media down there, all lovely and clean. Now the skimmer, here's the basket, and I've shown you before in here I had to put some netting on. Main reason being is last summer, beginning of summer, end of spring, unfortunately a couple of newts found their way into here and went through the pipe, and I found the tails hanging out of the holes in the spray bar on the shower, and it was too late to save them, unfortunately. So what I've done to prevent this happening was I put netting in here. The byproduct of that is when food comes through, you can just see down there, it gets caught in the skimmer basket, wedged in there. So all I do is just take this out, flip it upside down, give it a jet wash off, put it over here. So I do that, and then I just give this a hoover out, see a little bit of food in there. But that's how this one skimmer box works. There's a bit of polystyrene, which is the weir door, and the pump is sat underneath there. Sucks water through down in the pipe runs underground all the way around there up to the skimmer, which is not ideal because I do need some kind of mechanical filtration between that and the skimmer. At the moment I've got the filter floss in the top of the skimmer, so I do need to sort out some kind of God, sun coming right down into my eyes. Turn that way. Yeah, so I need to sort out some kind of physical mechanical, so I was thinking, did think sort of like a Tempest or an upflow, homemade upflow filter, but really I need bigger flow rates and what you can put through one of them. Just thinking actually, all this hype over these upflow filters, Tempest and that lot, is that not really what the centre section of a Easy Pod or a Nexus does? Is it not the same thing, really? Food for thought. You know, all this hype about it, but you know, to me it's a different version of the centre section. It's, you know, you got media, water flowing through, being stopped by the media. Who knows? Not for me to argue. Anyway, but yeah, so I was thinking of a possibly microbead filter, but again, loads of money. Don't like the idea of a pressure filter. Had one when I sort of like first had my little pond over in the corner with a few goldfish and things in, and yeah, I mean it kept the water clear to a certain extent, but it don't hold a lot of gunge and gunk, and no matter how often you clean them out with the pumpy, you do have to strip them down. So yeah, definitely thinking microbead filter maybe, and then, you know, but I'm not 100% sure on what the flow rate through those are, so I've got to do a bit of research into that. And they don't seem to come on the second-hand market very often, and when they do, they're silly money. Unless anybody out there's got one that's cheap as chips for me, please. But yeah, so just get that all clean, get the net basket washed off, get that back together. So yeah, I'll stop the video there, and because I realised I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, so and then I posted the 1,000 subscriber giveaway video. So like I said, this is the one that was before that. Like I said, a little bit of content in there to keep you happy, but anyway, hope you enjoyed it. And this week's video, as it should be, will be out in a couple of days' time. All right, everybody, stay safe, look after yourselves, and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye.